Hey, family, we need to talk about our kids and our urban communities. As the Dean of Urban Success University, we just closed out Summer Success School in Atlanta. I got them going up and down the East Coast. I closed out Philadelphia in 2.5 more weeks. My Atlanta students going back to school next week. My Philadelphia students going back to school in 3.5 weeks. I'm the founding dean. I'm now entering my second full school year in my second decade as chairman. I've I've poured my life into elementary, middle school, high school, college students around this nation for the past 20 years. And I gotta scream to us from the top of my lungs what everybody knows, but few people got enough heart to say our urban youth are in trouble. Not someday, not eventually. Right now. Now I understand life and death in the power of my tongue. And so any circumstance, situation I agree with, I can speak life to. Any circumstance, situation I disagree, I can speak death to. I get that. We need a reality check. Because if we don't come together immediately with a Nehemiah type of rebuilding spirit, if we don't make our youth and our young adults our highest priority, then we sacrificing not only our future, we're sacrificing the future of our communities. COVID exposed the cracks that were already there. Since then, we've been watching the mental health crisis grow, watching the financial pressure grow, watching the sense of hopelessness in our youth and young adults grow, watching the isolation grow. What are we doing watching this? Watching our young kids, our young adults get more connected to devices than they are adults. Meanwhile, the adults becoming more divided. Used to be us protecting us. Now it feels like us against them. Have you noticed? Parents against schools, communities against young people, churches against neighborhoods, politics against purpose. What the frick are we doing? I'm hitting the reset button. Not now, right now. I don't know if you realize it, but our communities and our children can't wait another election cycle. Can't wait for another committee meeting. Can't wait for another strategic plan. They need us now, today. When? Look around. Have you seen what's taking place on our college campuses? HU, you know, hundreds of students struggling to enroll. Families being financially squeezed. Education systems are changing. Technology is changing. Artificial intelligence is changing. The game is changing. New game, new rules. The rules are changing. Notice something. No one slowed down long enough to explain to our communities what those changes actually mean for us. Meanwhile, everybody arguing over politics. Our businesses quietly becoming digitally invisible. Literally, it was November the 5th, 2021. Google announced its entire small business platform shifted from Google My Business to Google Business Profiles. Fast forward to videotape after Donald Trump and Elon Musk in the White House. That was January of 05. 25, excuse me. Not this May of 2026, 19th to be exact, Google announces the biggest fundamental shift in the internet in the past 25 years. Says I'm no longer a search engine, I'm an AI recommendation agent. Literally changed how our people, their businesses, ministries, nonprofits are discovered online. I call it the internet reset. And it cut the lights out on digital marketing. 85, 90% of our businesses, ain't nobody saying a thing. We all see it. Top of Google. We no longer ranking options. No, it's recommending. Search has become recommendation. People do business with who they know, like, and trust. But now AI determines who gets introduced. Ain't nobody said nothing. AI determines who gets suggested, who gets found, who gets trusted, who gets ignored, and what we got? Crickets. Nobody's explained it to our churches, our nonprofits, our barbers, our beauticians, our contractors, our restaurants, our family businesses. We spent the last 5, 6 years talking about AI. Biggest thing you seeing online is folk figuring out how to create some funny looking images. Nobody's translated it into practical language our entrepreneurs can understand and actually use. My opinion, that's unacceptable. That's why we built the Kingdom Marketplace. Let me be clear, this ain't a directory. It's the world's first AI-powered generative engine optimized entrepreneurial ecosystem. It exists because our business deserves to be recommended by AI instead of disappearing because nobody taught them the new rules. It matters because a lot of our folk ain't got websites. Every profile is on an individual website, not an online directory that AI can't scroll. It can't read. It's a long list. All it got is your NAP, your name, your address, your phone number. That was 30 years ago. Every profile built by a student at Urban Success University. Every implementation, every business we equip creates work for our urban youth. Implementation dollars don't go in corporate pockets. They go into the hands of young people, go into the hands of single mothers, go into the hands of students attempting to survive as they passionately pursue their entrepreneurial, professional, and educational goals, dreams, and aspirations. That's why this is the digital resurrection of Progress Plaza. The original Progress Plaza created opportunities through physical businesses. We're rebuilding that vision digitally. Can you tell? At USU, our daughters launched Brains Over Boobs, but because they're pushing back against an over-sexualized culture, a hyper-sexualized social media that constantly attempts to tell them their value is found in their bodies instead of in their brilliance. Oh, I'm just talking like a spiritual daddy. I hope you don't mind. You know, father to the fatherless type son, because that's what our sons need. Our sons need fathers. Our daughters need covering. Our entrepreneurs need education. Our community needs infrastructure. Everybody needs somebody. And I done spent my entire life in this fight. Sully had me while I was 3, gave me a little piece of paper. Really, I think I got licensed when I was 7. He just ain't give me the paper until Monday morning on my 8th birthday. But that was 40 years ago. I've been mentored by some of the giants, Herbie, William Herbert, Gray III, Joseph Lawrence Roberts. Mr. Chicago, Jersey Joe was used by God to build that Horizon Sanctuary, all them friggin' politicians over there desecrating. But that's besides the point. Today, I'm still learning from Daddy King Youngbuck. Daddy King said he's going to still be here. Hey, listen, 66 years ago, they had the first Atlanta student movement, urban youth of the city of Atlanta. They ain't had no place to hang out either. They wasn't respected at lunch counters. They went and sat down. First one was Reverend Dr. Alphaball Brinson. Daddy King gave them keys, that old white Volkswagen. Get out there and get them kids. See what they doing. Let the folk get my kids, Brinson. March 9th to March 15th, 1960, the Ebenezer Youth Organization wrote the Appeal for Human Rights, published in a bunch of newspapers. We ain't got no newspapers. I'm talking to y'all online. Hey. Became what is the Atlanta student movement. You fast forward the videotape, you're talking about Atlanta student takeover. What's the difference? Spiritual fatherhood, covenantal covering, voice for the voiceless. Everybody want to talk about I'm this, I'm that, I'm the preacher, I'm this. Where your youth ministry at? I'm not talking about out there. I'm talking about, well, we got Bethel for this presentation. We got Ebenezer for this presentation. Got the King Center for this presentation. Got the kids taking pictures over there. But ain't none of you niggas got the kids. All of you scared to come the fuck outside. How you gonna be scared of the kids you get millions of dollars fundraising off, but ain't raised for 20 years? I know. I've been outside for like 25. We ain't never seen none of y'all outside. But that besides the point. I'm just doing my job as the last son. I don't know what they do over there. I don't do politics. St. Herbie leave politics to run the United Negro College Fund. Little inside Bright Hope joke. Daddy, you can't lead an institution unless you're a Baptist preacher. You can't if it's your mama's many university. That's amazing grace. What y'all talking about? What my prophetic parents teach me? Covenantal responsibility. Everybody in the bishop entourage is called. Y'all remember Habakkuk? Little minor prophet. Well, not really. Young Buck got 3 paragraphs. Open up. Don't talk about the call of Habakkuk. No burning bush. No Samuel. No, none of that. How in the world it is the first verse of Habakkuk, the vision of Habakkuk, the oracle of Habakkuk, the burden of Habakkuk. Wait a minute. Abraham is a friend of God. Get to talk to God. God let Habakkuk see. Habakkuk tell God, why in the world you let me see what you let me see the way you see it? The vision you give me is the burden you give me. That's what I was taught. I was taught leadership means carrying burdens other people walk away from. How ML talked about it last time he taught the text. ML said the niggas just walk on by, talked about the Good Samaritan, the priest, the public relations priest, and the lazy ass Levite. See the kids across the street, see the young adults across the street, see the businesses across the street, see the community across the street, and they go on Ebenezer everywhere because they can't deal with the needs of the community. What the frick is the difference? I don't like Trump, but I love the motherfucker. I don't like Warnock, but I love the motherfucker. What's the difference? You talking about him, he talking about you. Where's the love? I don't know. That's why I'm still here. People ask me why I don't quit. I can't. I don't know how. I'm a 1st Battalion commander's quit. Fuck you mean quit? Only quitters quit. We finish. And I'm addicted to this shit. It's my drug of choice. I watched too many children grow up. The kids nobody wanted to talk about. They're my kids, my USU alumni. I love y'all. Almost as much as the father on behalf of the father. Yeah. Guess what? They're young adults now. A lot of them got kids of their own. They still need us. And now we need them. Hey, listen, man, I'm closing out Summer Success School in Atlanta. I still got weeks. I'm telling you, up and down the coast. And guess what? We ain't got no corporate sponsorship. Your corporation want to sponsor us? You know we ain't got no government grant. No denominational backing, no political machine behind this, no purpose. Put purpose before profit and politics. We got people, we got faith. Practical application of the word. What he wills, he provide for. Look at my life. We still here. And I refuse to give up my assignment. A lot of people ask me, why you keep going after everything you've been through? What the frick you mean? We soldiers. You're not reading your Bibles. What did it say? John 15. I'm the vine, my father's the vine dresser. That's the gardener. The tree that bears fruit, he prunes. Why? So it can bear more fruit. We supposed to be clipped. You think that we teach the believing soldier spiritual weapons. I'm showing my youth how to deal with the satanic attacks that they facing in their everyday life using the practical application of the word spiritually, and I ain't gonna deal with no attacks. That's the job. So when you see certain things that a lot of other people will cower from, I get turned on by that shit. That's just me. Got a problem with it? Take it up with him. He made me like this. He reserves his hardest battles for his strongest warriors. This one custom fit for your guy. Favor ain't fair, but I'm trying to tell you, it fit good. Yeah, we got pushed out. Get over it. Doors closed. Get over it. Programs ended. Get over it. Financial support disappeared. Get over it. The needs of our communities ain't disappeared. What was that? April? That was the day before Good Friday, wasn't it? Finch Elementary. What I tell y'all? Parent Resource Center shelves bone dry. April, May, June, July. All that was 5 months ago, damn near. The need's still there. Matter of fact, we talked about it. More hungry kids can't start coming out. Kids still hungry. Families still need food. Students still need school supplies. Young adults still need jobs. Nothing about the need has changed. Just the politricians got exposed. So they buy some pleasure. Independent ministry project. That football project was a whole lot more than a freaking football project. Ran off. Why in the world? Because it's on the baseball field. Technicality. Not, wow, thank you. What can we do to help? Get out of here. The kids ain't disappeared though. Little Brinson Mobile, damn it, drove the tie rods, the brakes off, highway over here, work over there, food bank over there, get right, got stolen, stolen, right, got the truck back, but so what we call that? Transportation ministry suffers some setbacks. Get over it. The mamas ain't disappeared. The tools were stolen. The young kings that needed them to do the work, they still here. The problems remain. So do we. See, we got a political group, and what they like to do is, get rid of them. Yeah, the problem over. No, man, the problem don't go nowhere. We just got a new group of politricians who want to claim to be leaders, but they don't serve. You can't be a leader if you don't serve, because leadership's about service. Our founder, the Yokemeister's daddy, talked about that. And so I want to invite everybody to participate in this service. If you're a business owner, register your business. Become a part of this ecosystem. We need to know who you are so we can support you. If you're able, upgrade. You ain't got a website? Cool. Your profile is a free website. AI readable. Not because you need another website, but because you need to be AI readable. And we need to know where you at so we can patronize you. If you can, put a couple pennies in the pockets of our kids. You got an old laptop? Donate it, please. Got an old cell phone? iPhone 11 or above? Good little something they can work on it? Donate it, please. Got a Wi-Fi card you gonna buy for it? Thank you. Got a workspace they can work in? Thank you. Can provide some old tools? Man, you're sponsor 3.5-ton jack for them to be able to do the brake changes and the oil changes. That was a lifeline. They wasn't buying cases of water, selling them. Now they backed up because they ain't got no jack. Can you donate one? It would change a life. You got an impact gun? Change a life. Ratchet set? Change a life. Want to provide some food? Thank you. We got daughters. We hooked up with Shay Alexander, Fulton County Magistrate, and Superior Court Clerk. Got some jobs for some of our daughters. They went for the interview and didn't go to work after they got the job because they was embarrassed about the fact they ain't had no clothes to wear to the work. You got some clothes? Thank you. Got some of them, they was barely able to make it on some was it the unemployment? Got some jobs and then didn't ain't had nobody put them on. Game, just understand how things work. And when they got the job, the unemployment ended, and they needed the money from the unemployment to sustain themselves until they got the first job, first paycheck from the job, and so now they right back going through it all over again. These are not situations that we point our fingers at people and look down our nose at them. We realize on this side of COVID, we're raising a new generation of young adult who we're coming back to our normality. What did they know? In a middle school, in high school, they were sitting in the house. So all the skill sets that they should practically apply, they don't know. Don't we have a responsibility to instill those in them? Or are we just going to be pretentiously entitled and look down their nose at them? They are our future. It don't matter what neighborhood you in. You got urban youth in them. You going to embrace them or be scared of them? Pick. You know, worst case scenario, provide some encouragement. Thank you. But because what did Martin Luther King Jr. ask us? Chaos or community? In order to rebuild our communities, we need more than just money. We need some money. We need more than money. Money alone has never rebuilt our communities. Rebuilding our communities has always been accomplished by people deciding that somebody else's child matters. I know my kid good, but come here, little Johnny. Come here, little baby girl. I got you. That's the definition of village. Definition of neighborhoods instead of hoods with neighbors. Atlanta, I'm talking to you. Old Fourth Ward, who did it better than your guy? Since 99. Reverend Dr. Joseph Lawrence Roberts stamped me on a 400 block of Auburn Avenue. I've been rocking the Wood, Auburn, Southwest Atlanta. I don't know who else out here. Since Joe stapled me out, I ain't seen none that's still in the trenches. I done seen a lot of pretty boys use it as a political springboard. I ain't seen too many of them still out here. I ain't seen it. I can tell you when they slid in about 20 years ago, Eric Vincent Thomas over at Howard Creasy's joint, there's ready to get rid of your man. His wife pulled some politics. Look, he ain't never been outside. Moving a whole lot of money on that food thing, though. I'm just saying. Warnock, 20 years ago, ain't never came to frick outside. Shannon Jones, he came from Eddie Long, clean up boy shit 20 years ago. Never been outside. All public relations. Lately Levite. Bethel, OG, just lost my man Keith. Who outside? I'm not talking about out there. I'm talking about in the core nucleus of downtown Atlanta. I'm not talking about the little work inside. Reverend Dr. Joseph Lawrence Roberts, Mr. Chicago, Jersey Joe used to say it's two types of work. It's church work and it's the work of the church. Church work, that's what them house niggas do in the building. Mom and them used to talk about the highways and the byways, and I'm going to tell you, them house niggas scared to come outside. You need a real ox to put that work in the field. What? HU, you know. That's just the record. Them just the facts. Since 99, my focus done remained the same. Our youth, our families, our entrepreneurs, our future. Amen. It's bigger than an HU house nigga competition. It ain't no competition. We crush them in everything. Literally. Like, look, we appreciate the work that Lawrence did, but the scroll is the scroll. I don't care what interpretation you go. 1 Timothy, 3rd chapter, the man who desires the office of a bishop. I know about it, been chasing it since I was 3. Sully and Bishop Ernest C. Morris, Mount Airy Church of God in Christ, Red Church. I can tell you about the office of the bishop. Bishop David J. Evans, Bishop Keith Reed, Bishop Chief Apostle Thomas Wesley Reed, Weeks, Archbishop Ralph Dick. I can tell you about some bishops. All of them got wives. That's the scroll. The niggas mad because even they students, yo, they got a man kissing a man, raising him up. It's politically popular, but it's not prophetically aligned. Don't give a fuck how you want to mix it. Fuck what's popular, what's prophetic, what's potent. But you know, we gonna bend this and bend that. They bending over so much, they don't know what to stand 10 toes down on. Malcolm X talked about the house nigga and the field nigga. The house nigga typically grew up in the house with in the attic or the basement with the slave master, so he's more mentally connected to the slave master. He ain't grow up in the field with the folks. Solomon, rich as wise as king in all existence, talked about in Ecclesiastes, 10th chapter, 16th verse. Woe to the hood, woe to the land, when a slave becomes king. Because you might get the position of the king, but you ain't got the mind of a king, so you never going to lead the people to freedom. You just going to lead them. What's that song? You got us going in fucking circles, round and around we go. Look, this is my voice. Get over it. So no, it's not homoletics. The study and art of preaching, you getting the colonizer classroom, the slave master seminary, this hip-hop hermeneutics. That's the gift. That's when we look at what God said, when God said, how God said, what God said to the people God said it, suspended in midair, analyze it from a myriad of different perspectives in order for us to find one that is inspiring, empowering, and motivating. That means it provides motive for action for us to press on and press through whatever circumstance and situation we are encountering in order to fulfill the assignment that God has placed on our life. And no, beloved, I don't talk fast. You've just been programmed to think slow. Dumb myself down? No, we making you come up to a new standard. Wrong with you niggas. You got more degrees than a thermometer, these house niggas, but they don't provoke no thought. Solomon says, as a man thinks, he becomes. The reason our youth and young adults aren't becoming much in God is because they're unable to take the text and provoke thought. The message of the Messiah is the same, but the messaging has changed. And if you can't talk our language, you telling on yourself, you're not one of us. You can't understand and articulate our challenges, you not one of us. You ain't gone through the shit that we go through, you not one of us, and you not where we from. So you not our leader. Because nowhere in our history as an African people have any of our prophets been pussies. How in the world you gonna stand 10 toes down to the spiritual wickedness and high places if you a bitch in the book? Yeah, it's bigger than a campus, bigger than a church, bigger than an organization. Just like Herbie, I was 12, September 11th, 2000 or 1991, when he left Congress, Christine King Ferris's birthday, in tribute to this covenant that William Herbert Gray Jr. got with Daddy King about the kids. Yeah, I know I get deeper and deeper and deeper. That's what the fuck I do. I'm teaching. I'm the dean. Biggie said, relax, take notes. You don't want no smoke. Herbie, he got tired of that political buffoonery. Left Congress as the black whip, putting all the motherfuckers in order to run the United Negro College Fund for a greater assignment. It's called impact, not income. You chasing income instead of chasing impact. You got it fucked up, son. I'm talking to the politicians as I'm educating the kids. This is just get used to USU this year. All right? Because somebody got to teach you. Herbie, Jesus, y'all remember him? He said, you can't do both. You can't serve God and mammon. Mammoth is not money. Mammoth is not the title. Mammoth is the pursuit of the money. Mammoth is the pursuit of the title. See, if you put the book in midair, since it's God's word, it can be interpreted from a myriad of different perspectives. Black folk, white folk, orange folk with yellow stripes, green folk, pink people, purple dots. Folk on the top, folk on the bottom. See, if you're on the top and you got the political power, you got the associations, you got the connections, you got the bag, then you reading the text to justify your position being on top, looking down at folk. But if you on the bottom, oh, you looking for the word to lift you. Yeah, faith is built at the bottom. And see, if folk on top and folk on bottom. So the way Herbie broke it down to me is what Jesus meant when he said you can't serve both God and mammon. Because if you looking to pursue the title, you're looking to pursue the money. See, the people on top, they're the ones that give you the title. The people on top, they the ones that give you the money. The people down here, they ain't got that shit. So if you want the money and the title, if you seeking the money and the title, the pursuit of it, right? Then you're gonna do what the people up top want. You're gonna be a kiss ass. Your nose all brown. Y'all got your nose if somebody asks what you want me to do now. But if you want to get God the glory from the story, you're gonna go in the trenches where faith is. That Herbie called them survival ministries. He left to run the United Negro College Fund. I don't know how many billions of dollars he raised, but hey, look, the original Bishop Billions. I'm out. I'm over the political pulpit games. Because our children need more than political and intellectual arguments. They deserve action. Not to be politically and corporately controlled. We're not politically and corporately controlled. We're kingdom. We builders. You know, like Nehemiah. I told you we needed a Nehemiah type of spirit. Everybody on the wall. You know, back then, the cities were in circles. So the wall that surrounded the city represented the economic and entrepreneurial fortification of the city. It went in a circle. So there's some folk on the north side of town, on the south side of town, on the east side of town, on the west side of town, and everybody got to get on the wall. Because see, but you got to understand something. If you don't work on your wall, somebody got to work on it. But ain't nobody going to work on the wall behind your house like you will. So if somebody else got to work on your wall because you don't want to come outside, you don't see no resources outside, you don't see no time outside, no energy outside, then somebody going to rebuild the wall, but it's going to be the weak spot. And when the enemy come around the city testing the strength of the wall, and they discover that the weak spot is right behind your house, it's not possible. It's probable that when they storm the weak spot of the wall, they gonna come through your friggin' living room. So it's in everybody's best interest to get on the wall. North Atlanta, South Atlanta, East Atlanta, West Atlanta. I got 46 directories with everybody. How about everybody get on the wall? That's what we were building, our broken walls. One student, one entrepreneur, one family, one neighborhood at a freaking time. So everybody under the sound of my voice, listen up. You a little fiery, huh? Kind of Pentecostal, huh? A little bit Kojic, huh? Like some Baptist roots, huh? Yeah, I'm fiery. Like that. Shut up in my bones. Yeah, I got that Pentecostal spirit. Yeah. I know the text. Can you tell? One of the Baptist basement baby boys at a black church my whole life. But I got some Kojic roots. I'm peculiar. And when you're peculiar, folk know you're strange. Quit trying to be like somebody else. He said, I made you the way I made you, so you can show forth the praise for him that called you out of darkness into this marvelous light. If I don't know nothing else about my purpose, my purpose is to glorify God. But I don't just glorify him in the dance. I don't just glorify him speaking in tongues. Reverend Dr. Joseph Martin Roberts told me, he said, okay, your greatest sermon is not the words that come out your mouth. It's the life that you live. Oh, I glorify him by the way I live. Ow, glory. Listen to me. Everybody listening, this is your invitation. Register your business. Can you please support a student? Would you volunteer? Would you mentor? Would you donate some equipment? Would you share some opportunities? How about you open a door? Become part of something bigger than yourself. Our kids don't need another speech. They need adults who are going to show up. I done spent my whole life in this fight about God's grace, God's amazing grace. I'm not coming out of it. Not while another child needs hope. Not while another entrepreneur needs opportunity. Not while another young adult needs somebody to believe in them. You know, when William Herbert Gray, told me about Robert Nix, he was looking at Warnock. Now, Robert Nix Sr. was the first black appointed congressman. Like Warnock, he'll flash black appointed senator. And Herbie, because we needed a younger leadership, zestier leadership, more committed leadership. Herbie went up against Nick. He beat him the first time. He ain't had the money for a recount. Second time, he knocked that thing out the park. I'm taking Warnock out. I ain't even got to take Warnock out. He already out. He in D.C. You see his bench? See Bethel bench? St. Peter's bench? See West Hunter bench? Who they got? Zero. Zip. Nada. Bunch of house niggas scared to come outside. I've been outside. I ain't going nowhere else. You know, Moses was always political imposture. He went to meetings. Joshua militant. God told him to give you every place the sole of your feet that tread. We just asking who participate in the rebuilding of our community. Amen. I love y'all. God bless y'all. God bless our children. God bless our entrepreneurs. And God bless the work ahead of us. Don't be like them political public relations pussies. I mean them priests. And them lazy ass house niggas and do what ML talked about them doing it. Just walk on by. Don't do that. Be the Good Samaritan. Don't forget what the Good Samaritan did. He stopped, provided bandage and oil. You know what that means? Means he dealt with the wound and the infection. I had amazing grace since I was 3. Ever since they took me off the base. I had Andrea Dash Gray. I had Esther Jean Wortham Roberts. I had Winifred Morris. They're my spiritual mamas. I've been prayed on in Ontario. Andrea Dash Gray, Marion Grayson Gundy, Cynthia Doris Nottage Tucker, Rose Louise Macaulay Parks, Amelia Isadora Platts Boyden Robinson, Coretta Scott King, the Yolkmeister. Oh yeah. Yeah. Leon Howard Sullivan, William Herbert Gray, Joe Roberts, Miles Monroe, Thomas Wesley Weeks, and Archbishop Ralph Dennison. And we're closing out with Reverend Dr. Albert Paul Brunson. Yeah, I'm ready. We the Okies, young organization of kings, internationally serving. Period. We over the politics. Our founders, daddy, ML as chaos or community, all they got is political public relations, chaos. Black Business Month begins this Saturday. Who's helping to rebuild our community? You're invited.